much more to a Saturday afternoon of football than meets the eye. For a Southern Regional football player, it all begins September 1. The coaching staff demands perfection, and the practice sessions demonstrate this desire to be the very best. Linemen go through one-on-one drills and pass blocking with the backs and receivers getting their timing down to a point where they know the other guy as well as they do themselves. First scrimmage, a three-team affair against Point Pleasant and St. Joe of Toms River, was highlighted by a tough defense and the running of Howard Berry, who was to show this attitude more than once during the regular season. Steve Schmee showed a willingness to hit, and Joe DePasquale exhibited fine throwing which had distinguished him as the leading quarterback at the Shore during the past two seasons.
Wing right, 48 flood pass, on two.
First down, two, take your split.
Then it came time to introduce the coaching staff. First, defensive coordinator Coach Tony Cermarini, and then offensive line coach Dave Diogenio, teaching techniques and perfection. Then it was Coach Ed Unruh, coaches specialty teams, kickoff, punt, returns, field goal.
JV coach did an excellent job with the varsity offensive and defensive tackles. Coach Rao.
And the fans met Coach Rich Rao, the head sophomore JV coach and assistant line coach. Opening day came with Ocean City, and after an early exchange of 6 corners on an opening kickoff returned by Ocean City, Ram defense began to dig in. Constant pressure applied to the Ocean City quarterback by an aggressive front 5 led by Steve Smee. Southern football began to once again look like it had at the end of the 1972 season. Explosive. The 25-13 victory was highlighted by the bull-like running of Howard Berry and wedge blocking of Coach Diogenio's offensive line. The passing game of Joe DePasquale and Ed Reiser and Doug Deloy produced 2 touchdowns and seemed to provide the excitement Southern fans had expected. moved on to Freehold. Then the Rams moved on to Freehold. And whether it be a lack of mental preparation or an exceptional performance by Freehold Township, the outcome of the contest was totally unexpected. At the end of the game, the Rams had fought to a 0-0 tie. Here is co-captain Russ Acey's reflections on the Freehold Township game.
Junior playing his last year, Field came as a big upset. Even though we didn't lose, we didn't win either. Before the season started, the team went into the season with an attitude of one thing in mind, and that was to win and settle for nothing else. Well, Freehold came as our first disappointment, but I feel the team came through it great. We came back to out-hit, out-hustle, and outscore Alsagami by a score of 32-22. One thing about playing high school football is there is a lot of pressure on you. If you are a man enough to come back and win after a loss, you know you have it.
On October 6th, the Rams traveled to Absegami High School to take on the much-improved Braves. The first half produced a total of 6 touchdowns and had the fans from both sides on their feet and wanting more. The game seemed to be a battle between running games, highlighted by Absegami's number 24, Larry Broy, and Sabins' Howard Berry. TD passes to Larry Dunphy and Doug Deloy, and the place kicking of Russ Acey brought home a 32-22 victory to Ramland. Co-captain Mike Garofolo has these post-game thoughts.
Biggest thrills this year was the game against Absegami. It was also about the biggest disappointment for myself. As co-captain, I wanted to play probably just as much, if not more, than anybody. I was hampered with an injury at that time, so it made it difficult. I'm just glad that we went out 32 to 22. It was a big victory. We came off a tough defeat, or, well, I call it defeat to Creole Township. It was a tie, but we deserved to win. I think we should have won. Looking on to the rest of the season, there were a lot of big games. A really big game for myself was Wall. I really enjoyed beating Wall, I think.
Those comments by co-captain Mike Garofolo. Then it was time to move to the locker room recital of recording the game score. This was accomplished, and once again the tired men of Southern cleaned up after a tough afternoon's work. Homecoming at Southern Regional High School is always something special. Today would be no different. Today was perfect for football, and the Rams were ready to play. It was a day when the Rams set aside time to honor the beautiful co-eds of the high school to select a homecoming queen. This year was no exception in the selection of beauty, as Miss was crowned the 1973 Homecoming Queen. Then it was time for the Southern Region to play football, and they were ready. The day was perfect for football, and the scoring opened with a great reception by Doug Deloy for the Southern touchdown. Touchdown, Doug Deloy. defense of coaches Sermarini and Unruh were unstoppable this Saturday afternoon. With the game won by the beginning of the fourth quarter, the coaching staff substituted freely. The passing combinations of Dunphy to Jim Mazzarelli and Bob Walton put Southern on the scoreboard for the final time afternoon. The Walls Southern Regional game is always a knockdown, drag-out affair with a victory in doubt until the final seconds of the game. After spotting Wall an early touchdown, the explosive running of Berry, passing of D. Pasquale, and receiving of Dunphy and Ken Fredrickson sent Southern Regional into the locker room at halftime with a touchdown lead. Of Dunphy and Ken Fredrickson sent Southern Regional into the locker room at halftime with a touchdown lead. The second half ended with the Southern Regional Rams a victory 21-20, and they had beaten Wall. Like all Wall games, it was an explosive, exciting game to the very end. The Rams had met their challenge.
I think it was proven today. Exactly what I said before the game. Southern Regional Reds have heart. Mark, don't get hurt. All right.
Red Bank. Before the game was a minute old, Red Bank had showed its power and speed, and the scoreboard read 6-0. Down 6-0 with a score by Bob Tomeo. Then it was time for the Rams to take over. Joe DePasquale, scrambling out of trouble time and time again, led the Rams into the end zone and to a 7-6 lead. Di Pasquale, scrambling out of trouble time and time again, led the Rams into the end zone and to a 7-6 lead. Short-lived as it was, Red Bank came right back and scored to take a 14-7 lead. Long was the day at which they would hold until the final whistle. The second half was all defense, and with a last-ditch effort falling short by the Rams, the final score 14-7. As a last resort, the Rams fell into a shotgun formation. It was to no avail.